Imagine the luxury of freedom.
iDiskiTV powered by World Sports Betting. iDiskiTimes.co.za. Orlando Pirates winning at Orlando Stadium courtesy of a very late goal by Thabiso Munyane. It looked like it was going to be a draw. Starting to cry as well because it's not nice to shoot videos about 0-0 draws. But at least Orlando Pirates got the win in the end. We saw Ernst Middendorp as well. We don't know whose job he was looking for there. Was he looking at Sekhukhune with the vacancy or... the Spanish guitar is the Spanish guitar under pressure. Orlando Pirates, with the win, of course, they were always going to lift up a little bit. They were about to be number 14 if they didn't win here, but with that win, a little bit, you lift up. I think they left with one match in hand now. Tso Vilakazi, our analyst, former Orlando Pirates captain as well, highest ever goal scorer in the history of Orlando Pirates. What did you make of this game, sir?
Bese ke kunjani mfethu ngibulise wena ngibulise Juna ngibulise Justice ngibulise namakhaya ngicela support njalo iDiskiTV ngizobuya nje benjalo angijiki futhi wala ntu amabhakaniya bekuyinto bengayiboni until kungena Mofokeng, and I was asking ukuthi if we all believe ukuthi Mofokeng bafuna ukumsayina ku Premier League overseas yini emhlanje sebenchini la ku Pirates. And Sekhukhune.
I think just on the point that you're making, the two players that they introduced that were instrumental in that goal, it's a 1-2 between Mofokeng and Pole. And I make one point that Umakhopa bamkhipile bafaka Pole, and immediately 1-2 with Mofokeng now was a substitute. And I want everyone to look at that goal. Look at what Pole does. And imagine what Makhopa would have done. Makhopa would receive a ball, one touch, Opula received that ball, one touch, and then he received it again, one touch, and then he created an assist Mofokeng for Umunyane. And this is the simplicity of a football. You should be able to see Oguti equality Kamakhopa. Whatever happened in his development, something was not developed right because it takes him 5 touches to settle the ball down. Upule ungenile, he's not warmed up yet, but ungenile papa and Mofokeng na ungenile 1-2 through the center, and they created a goal.
Mr. Geo, you lento bengisho ngithi mina you can't have ball players abafana abamaswangani aboKim Vidu abomofokeng and then you're going to play them wide beside team. Play them here. If you say okay, when we don't have a ball, go wide. Ovale lapha the space so that they don't start lapaya. But as soon as we've got a ball, come inside those pockets. Because if you can check Mofokeng, he got the ball in that pocket. Eben Kalangai with Mosuga wide, come here and then you open that space wide so that if Otto we are Kupuga it all. And that's how he got the ball. And it's always gonna be very important that you need to. When you play the striker, you need to support the striker. Mofokeng, that's what he did. And, you can do that again, Mr. Geo, but it depends who are you giving the ball. Because if by 10, by 30. So good touches between Upule and Mofokeng. And this is what Pirates they can do. They've got these players. It's just to find the right combination and the team can win. And well done to Munyane. Good goal. I mean, look at what I just said, Mr. Keo. When their wing players come inside, they've got numbers in the box. Then they open that space for that fullback, or Munyane or Otongal. Look who scored the goal. From which position? This is what I was talking about. Unless that's what they should do. But if they're not going to do that, definitely based on Pelagaitro. And I hope the coach will learn in what I was just said. You've got ball players. I don't mind if you're saying they must go wide. Without a ball, go wide because we are defending. But as soon as we've got a ball, come to the pockets. When they come to the pockets, they open the space in the wings for the fullbacks to go. Then any cross that comes in, you've got a striker, you've got also 2 just behind the striker. Then you've got a winger there. You've got how many players? 1, 2, 3, 4. And then the 2 that are sitting outside. You still have numbers on your attack, but
what about Sekhukhune? So because of course Brendan Truter is no longer the coach. Today McDonald Makubedu is the caretaker coach in the interim. What about them? What about what they had to offer today? Because I felt you predicted in your halftime it was going to be 0-0, and 30 minutes into this or 10 minutes into the second half, I was like, I believe you, because even though Pirates won, I felt ukuthi there was not enough even from their side. But with Sekhukhune, it was worse. It was worse that it was sporadic moments. Every 3 minutes, you find one moment, it lasts 5 seconds, and then Pirates, they deal with it, and then you're defending again. What about them? What do they have to offer? What can we criticize about how they approach the game today?
Mr. Geo, before I'll talk about the game, what was the reason to bring him back after he was there? And I believe so, Uguti failed. That's why they had to get another coach. So they get another coach, but they keep him on the left. Now that coach left, they bring him back in the very same seat. There's no changes. So obviously, it was going to be the very same thing that we've been seeing since Makubedu came in with the team with PSL. Nothing is going to change. And it shows again with the game, Uguti. It's like Ugati. Guys, just go and play. We play against Pirates. Let's just go and play, and then we'll see. Maybe something can happen, and then we can improve something. But I think it is gonna go to the management of the team to sit down really and make a right decision when it comes to technical team.
Well, we saw Middendorp in the stands there, and I asked you, are they talking to him maybe? Are they looking at him? One thing about Middendorp, which is very smart, is that for whatever reason, whenever someone is about to get fired or got fired, you saw Uguti Begasa Germany. It didn't take him 2 weeks to stay in his own country. He immediately came to South Africa. Magunas did it. The Chiefs, you see him in the stands. Nala game. There's no coach. You see him in the stands as well. Where do you think, what would you advise Sekhukhune to do with that coaching situation here? But where should they go?
Mr. Geo, they just need to, they must look for a coach. I'm not saying go for Middendorf or not, don't go for him, but they need a coach. And also, I don't know whether do they have a structure as a team itself is Sekhukhune, because even when you bring a coach, at least the coach might figure it's not going to structure, or maybe knowing the certain way of Sekhukhune, this house Sekhukhune they play. But I don't know. Well, they just need a coach. They do have decent players, because I've seen in their attack, I think they can do something with those players that they've got, but it's just a matter of getting a good coach. But
you're not answering my question. Would it surprise you if they went for Middendorp?
Mr. Geo, I remember Coach Steskov at some players they can smell a goal. They can smell where they need to be in that box and score a goal. And I remember when I scored against the Pirates, Lucas Morepe, when I scored a goal after the game, he said, one thing I like about Villa is that he can smell the goal and then he gets to that position. And, the coach Middendorf, he always, smell, and he's always at the right spot at the right time. So you'll never know. Maybe he's the next coach of Sekhukhune.
All right, so there you go. That's Sekhukhune versus Orlando Pirates. Someone said on social media, Middendorp is looking for the next coach to relegate, so so that could be a factor too, given some of his teams. He leaves them. He doesn't wait for them to be relegated. He leaves them. And in the same season he leaves them, sometimes they get relegated. iDiskiTV, Diski Times, World Sports Betting. Thank you for watching us.